Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Is Bruce Pearl the bravest person in sports today? Absolutely. Auburn basketball coach Bruce Pearl, bravest man in sports. He has now weighed in on the current presidential race, supporting RFK Jr.'s criticism of the Democratic National Committee and the media. Pearl accused the Democrats of hypocrisy, stating that the actions they fear Trump would take if reelected are the very actions they are already engaging in, political persecutions in particular. He also expressed concern over Vice President Kamala Harris's policies, suggesting that she may be concealing her progressive beliefs to secure votes and urged voters not to be misled, which a bunch of national commentators are like, how can he be allowed to say this? Why isn't Auburn stopping him? Why aren't they making him shut up? Steve Kerr and Steph Curry spoke at the DNC, and they were praised for it. Curry was waving around a gold medal, and that was okay?
Number 6.
Somehow, the presidential candidates in 2024 are still debating whether or not to actually do a debate as previously agreed. A few weeks ago, Donald Trump wanted to do more debates than were previously agreed, and we were told that was him being a chicken because he was thinking about backing out of a debate because he wanted to change the rules. He said, okay, fine, I'll do it. Now Kamala Harris wants to change the rules, and they've decided that makes Donald Trump a chicken because he doesn't want to change the rules. Why does Kamala Harris want to change the rules? Because she wants to have a Karen-esque moment where Donald Trump is speaking and she goes, I'm speaking here, I'm speaking. Don't make me talk to your manager, I'm speaking. So blue-haired, morbidly obese wine moms and their boyfriends can wear t-shirts and say, I'm speaking, while their husbands take them to Black Lives Matter rallies. That's basically what we're looking for here. She wants that moment, and it is, it's probably going to happen. She's going to get what she wants.
Number 5.
Shamari Figures and Caroline Dobson, candidates for Alabama's 2nd congressional district, which was racially gerrymandered for a Democrat win, will debate live on October 10th in an event moderated by AL.com. Caroline Dobson, maybe she's the bravest person in politics. I don't know who's going to be moderating this for AL.com, but I've seen what they've done before in these situations. Kudos to her for wading into that mess. This will be broadcast online, allowing voters to hear the candidates' contrasting visions. The race could factor into who controls what happens with the U.S. House. Figure says he plans to look towards discussing his campaign's vision, which means nothing, which is the Democratic philosophy for everything now. Well, Dobson criticized the figure for supporting policies that she say have harmed the economy and national security. So again, we have issues versus style. That's what we're talking about here.
Number 4.
After a lot of complaints about terrible traffic on Alabama's interstates over multiple holiday weekends, the Alabama Department of Transportation has said, hey, we're going to take the weekend off too. And we're not going to have a bunch of temporary lane closures or anything like that. We're going to get all the barrels off the roads. You guys are going to be able to go out there and travel smoother and safer on Labor Day weekend. Don't think for a second that Jeff Poore and Will Ainsworth, the lieutenant governor, aren't going to snap pictures of a bunch of car lights and say, look at this, we need to expand the road. We're going to see that anyway. That's happening because it's going to happen. The pause will be statewide Friday from August 30th at 12 p.m. to Monday, September 2nd at 11:59 a.m., with the aim of this suspension being to make a less stressful Labor Day weekend and enhance safety for travelers. So they're going to try to make it a little safer. I think we can all appreciate that over the holiday weekend.
Number 3.
Continuing to act as Vice President Kamala Harris's, whichever way you're saying it, rapid response team, the American media talks about the presidential race from the perspective of how terrible former President Donald Trump is and how wonderful and joyful Harris and Democrats are. With 89% of Trump's coverage being negative and 84% of Kamala Harris's coverage being positive. Now, some frantic journalists are warning that Trump could hurt the media more than they've already hurt their industry and institutions, citing Trump's criticism of journalists. You ready for this? For leaking classified documents. Didn't they want Trump put in jail for what happened at Mar-a-Lago? Did I miss that? So he said they shouldn't be leaking classified documents, and they're saying that's an attack on press freedom. Maybe you guys leaking classified documents is the attack on press freedom. It's coming from inside the House, you idiots.
Number 2.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, the Democratic vice presidential nominee, is facing multiple criticisms for allegedly misleading claims about... wait a minute, let me delete that word allegedly. Misleading claims about military service and his coaching experience. He's not facing criticisms. He is, a liar. Walz claims to have been deployed to the Middle East as a command sergeant major and have served as a high school football coach, none of which are true. Senator Tommy Tuberville, a Republican of Auburn, an actual well-known former head coach, responded by accusing Walz of lying about his rank and coaching role, suggesting that Walz lacks the character and leadership needed for the White House, contrasting his own experience as a longtime SEC coach. So Tuberville saying, look, you can't run around calling yourself a coach when you were an assistant coach because you couldn't be a head coach. Not the only reason he wasn't a head coach, by the way, but you couldn't be an official coach, because you had a criminal record that wouldn't let you do so. But yeah, sure, call yourself coach, you loser.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
You should be talking about this. This is actually a really great thing for all of Alabama. Alabama Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth expressed optimism about former President Donald Trump's chances in the upcoming election, which is not surprising. He's a Republican lieutenant governor in the great state of Alabama. He's emphasizing the importance of winning Pennsylvania, which is obvious, and criticized Democrats for focusing on personalities rather than issues like the economy, immigration, and inflation, where he believes Republicans hold the advantage, and polls bear that out. Republicans hold the advantage in those issues, which is why the media is like, yeah. Bread's really expensive, but look at Kamala Harris's laugh. Isn't it adorable? Isn't it great? We love it. And Tim Walz, he's hot. Just sex in plaid. That's what he is. Turning straight men gay and gay women straight. That's what he's doing. He's so amazing. Anyway, Ainsworth also discussed the potential for what happens after Donald Trump wins, and I think this is more important here. Could we return U.S. Space Command headquarters, which was selected to go to Huntsville, back to Huntsville? Could they relocate it back to Alabama if Trump wins? I think the answer to that is probably yes. Everyone has said Tuberville lost us Space Command, which means it was a political decision, right? Okay, so let's acknowledge that and say, okay, put it back where they originally told it to go, and that's the way we do it. What race is important for that? Ainsworth points this out. District 2, the race between Caroline Dobson and Shamari Figures. He is urging Republicans to support Caroline Dobson in that election. Now, AL.com. You guys suck at what you do to an epic degree, okay? You're terrible at everything. Y'all smell bad. You're bad. In that race, ask Shamari Figures and Caroline Dobson if they would support returning Space Command to North Alabama. I want to hear that question get asked. Ask something specific about North Alabama. Don't ask about Kamala Harris's laugh or Donald Trump being mean. Ask about Space Command. See if they can. Just ask that one question. That's all I ask you to do, and we'll see if they're willing to do that. I don't think that they will, but those two stories, I think, go together pretty well. We'll continue to cover this and a whole lot more right here, right now. If you want to get involved, obviously, there's a couple of different ways for you to do so. It is very, very simple. You can pick up the phone right now. QC Kinetics free speech phone lines, 866-494-WVNN. You can email us. A simple way to do so. Whoops. DowntownRescueMission.org email inbox. Emily winced at that. You can email me, Dale at WVNN.com. Or the ScoutPestControl.com, WVNN hot take text line at 866-494-WVNN. Get your questions in for 10 with him, who will be hitting that pretty hard when we return in the last segment of this program. So don't miss it. Today is 10 with M, by the way. You throw them out. You throw out those questions. They don't have to be about her, by the way. They can be anything. Like, ask her some very specific, intricate political questions, and we'll get the answers from M later on in the show. Todd Pyro coming up in a bit. Katie Britt a little later. 10 with M. We're jacked up. We're ready to go. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Get WBNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.